Go straight, right?
Yeah, you can go straight. Yep. They used to call this was Middle Street, but I know on the atlas they call it High Street. Well, High Street is up here, so they made a misprint.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is the
There's the Baptist
Church here.
Yeah.
And this is the new fire hall, and that's where the
Am I taking a left here?
yeah,
Yeah.
take a left here.
The new fire hall, huh?
Yeah, that's where the schoolhouse, high school used to be, in the town hall, Washington Hall. Yeah. Used to be a big estate here. Dr. T.W. Pomeroy owned it.
He was a doctor, another doctor.
He was he had M.D. after his name, but he was more of an herbalist. And he used herbs
I see.
and
Wow. When you said they were coming, you weren't kidding.
no,
Look at all those cars.
You said you wanted to see people in Pembroke and meet them.
Jeez. Well, this is good. The more the merrier.
Sure.
This is it, huh?
This is it.
How are you, sir?
This is Fred Grzelensky.
I'm fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you, Fred.
My
Fred is
pleasure.
going to meet us later on over at the library.
Oh, good.
Do you know the history of this building?
No, sir.
Well, this building, the last use was a hardware store. The Pembroke Historical Society purchased the building and rehabbed it a little bit, and this is our museum and meeting house now.
How is the society doing?
Very well, as you can see.
Look at all
we
these
can have a
numbers.
meeting today. Now, I want you to guess. It's just the age of this lady in a bracket.
Putting you on the spot now.
Think she's over
60?
60? Yeah.
60.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'd say,
Yeah,
60.
right.
Yeah, 95.
90. So this is your daughter?
My daughter, Helen.
How many children do you have?
One.
Just one. Okay.
Just one.
That's all she needed.
And, really, you're a handful?
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
It's not. She's
No.
been a good daughter.
Absolutely.
No, that's good. Where did you grow up here?
Yes, I did in town,
Yeah.
and until I was about 6 years old. And then my father retired from the sea. He was a captain, sea captain.
Oh, he was.
And he bought a farm up to what they call Little Falls. And that's where I brought up until I was 17.
He was right.
I told you to leave.
That's right. We went by your dad's house.
My what?
Your father's house.
Oh.
We drove
Well,
by.
it doesn't look like it used to.
No. Now, do you still live here, or do you live anywhere else? Where?
I stay here from March until November,
Yeah.
and then I go and live with my daughter in Virginia
Oh, down in
for
Virginia.
3 months.
Did you grow up here?
No, but I stayed 1 year when I was in the 3rd grade. What an experience.
Yeah, it is.
Went to a one-room schoolhouse.
Oh,
And the school bus was a hearse.
was it?
Yeah, it really was. And I went to the Crossroads School, and there were about 12 in the classroom. And we were all very smart.
What is that? What you remember?
Yeah.
That everyone in the class was smarter than
Right.
at other schools you've been to?
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Why do you think that was?
Well, we got such individualized attention, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah, true. And my cousin was the teacher.
Which helped.
So it was almost homeschooling, right?
Yeah.
So why did you move away? I mean, why?
I went away in training, in nurse training.
Okay. And you couldn't do it here. Just
No.
needed to do it somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, right. And so, what brings you back to today? I mean, what do you have?
Because I like it here.
You do.
Yeah.
And you have a family home now here. and-
I live in my daughter's house.
Oh, so you do? You have a house here that you? Oh,
We do.
okay.
She has two.
Huh?
She has two. I live by myself, and she lives down the road a piece.
Yeah, a piece.
So, what do you do with yourself when you're up here for the season?
Oh, there's plenty to do if you want to do it.
Okay. Like for what? For instance?
Well, I used to be able to work in the yard, which I loved doing.
Yeah.
And of course, we go to all the church suppers for miles around.
Those are great. Everyone there is.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you must see all your old friends.
Well, no, there's not many left.
No, there aren't.
No.
Right. Gosh, you look fantastic.
Oh, yes. Well, you
Huh?
know, powder and paint makes you look like twins.
having old friends. I said to her one time, Ma, why don't you have a luncheon and have your friends come and have lunch with you? She said, because they're all gone. Now, isn't that something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about.
She has lots of young friends, too.
Oh, yes, you do. Look at all these friends here.
Right,
Right?
right.
Well, I wish you all the best, and
Thank you.
You know, it was nice talking with you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the old days. Like what I'm always interested in what parents did. You know, you say your father was a sea captain.
Yeah.
So what did your parents do?
They were just average people.
Working, just farmers?
Yes.
And that's pretty much what people did. They did whatever they had to do, mostly farming or lumbering.
My father worked up at, well, of course, it was St. Croix Paper Company at that time in Woodland. He worked up there. He drove up there every day.
Can anybody remember using the horse and buggy?
Oh, yes, we did.
School and a horse and buggy.
Ah.
I have ridden to school in a horse and buggy. My mother and father, sometimes my mother and sometimes my father drove it. We had like a little cabin on the back of a sleigh, and we covered up with a buffalo robe in the back of it.
What do you miss about the old days?
Seeing things in town. You drive through town, it looks like a ghost town.
Yeah, I hate to see the old houses that are just dilapidated. It just bothers me. It always did. When I came back in the summer, there were all these places for sale, and they just deteriorated because the old people had died and the young people had moved away for jobs because there's no jobs here.
Right. So they can't put the money back in to fix them up.
No.
So it almost kind of makes sense that somebody buys them and fix them up, though.
True.
Right?
Today, out-of-staters are buying
Yep.
and moving in.
And they like to fix them up.
I imagine they do.
Yeah.
And they all have different ideas, and
There's more
Away we
natives
go.
than natives now.
There's more people from away than natives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
natives, right.
Yeah. How does that? Is that all right for
So
you?
as far as I'm concerned, at least they're doing something. It's the people from away that came, that we call from away, that came and started this historical society. Got it going, and Mr. Galinsky over here doing the library, he's not a native from Pembroke.
Right.
And these are the people that are doing things.
Mylan Jameson.
Hi, Mylan.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
What they said the first,
Second.
the second selectman.
Second, yes.
What was the first guy like?
Well, there's three selectmen. First,
Oh.
second, third. So,
Is that how it works?
yes.
So the first one is the chairman.
No, I'm the chairman, the bookkeeper.
Why does it go first, second, and third?
No idea. It's just always been that way.
Yeah. How are things in town?
Good.
What are we doing? What are we trying to do?
Well, Fred's working on a library. They're trying to get the racetrack revitalized. And, really,
What are they going to do with that racetrack when it's revitalized?
I don't know. They always talked about having agricultural fairs there. And, I'm not quite old enough to remember that, but I can remember just barely there being a fair or carnival there.
So you like being a selectman?
When there's nothing going bad, it's a good job. But when things are going haywire, it isn't good. People have complaints, but
Well, you're always going to have people who are.
right,
gonna-
you're going to have complaints, and you deal with them.
What are people complaining about today? What would be like an example of someone?
Well, the gravel roads need to be graded, and if you don't get it done quick enough, and because you're always under a budget with so much money to spread out, and you try to make it go as far as you can.
And how about taxes? They don't see. I don't think that Pembroke has really high taxes, do they?
Last year was the first year that the mill rate took a really big jump.
It did. Nothing like Eastport, though, huh?
Oh no.
Nothing could get that bad, huh?
Not that bad, no. I hope not, anyway.
Right.
But,
Then you'd really hear some complaining.
Right. We have, basically all we raise money for is the schools. That's a big chunk of the budget. And then solid waste and roads and streetlights and ambulance service, different things like that.
Sure. What do you do for a living?
I'm retired from the Marine Corps.
Oh, you were in the Marine Corps, yeah?
I was retired.
Yeah. And you said you were born here. This is where you grew up.
I was born in Eastbrook, but I was raised in Edmonds, so I'm a transplant.
Okay.
So when I came back out of the service, I found a rent here, and I stayed here ever since I came back. I got wounded, and when I got out of the hospital, I just found a rent in Pembroke, and that's where I stayed.
Where were you? Where'd you get wounded?
Vietnam.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
When's the election? When's the next election?
The second or third week in July is usually when town meeting is.
And do they are not all the seats are up? They rotate each. Seat,
Every
is that
year,
right?
like
Every year there's a seat.
right.
Yes.
See, my seat is up this year, and the.
So you're going to run again?
Oh yeah, I can't get abuse any other way.
How long have you been a selectman?
25
gee.
years.
Wow. Do you ever have anybody run against you? Would anybody dare run against you?
Yes, they would.
Huh?
I've had people run against
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
So,
Right.
but no, we're all friends. We all
Of course. Try to make the town
try
the
to
best
make
we
the town
can.
better. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's a lovely town.
Thank you. Thank you.